Good day, I'm Lisa Rowe and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, October 30, 2024. Favour Williams has been appointed Jamaica's new Minister of Finance and the Public Service. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness made the announcement during this morning's post-cabinet press briefing. With the appointment, Mrs. Williams has become the first female Minister of Finance in the country's history. She succeeds Dr. Nigel Clark, who demitted office on Tuesday, to assume the role of Deputy Managing Director at the International Monetary Fund, IMF. Prime Minister Holness says Minister Williams' extensive technical experience makes her well suited for this important position.
The stakeholder community that she will serve specifically would want to know that someone who is going to be in that area has some technical competence. But more than that, she also has practical experience. She worked in the financial sector for many years. She is a business person and has the experience of starting her own business, and therefore she would understand quite a bit about business.
Minister Williams has expressed her commitment to advancing the nation's financial and public service agenda.
I am committed to the continued pursuit of fiscal prudence and creative solutions, one that values the expertise of all the members of the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service. I will seek to collaborate with industry leaders, civil society, and most importantly, the citizens we serve. My goal is to build not only for the present, but for generations to come.
The Prime Minister also announced the appointment of Senator Dana Morris Dixon as the Minister of Education, Skills, Youth and Information. Matthew Samuda, who recently won a seat in the House of Representatives, will reassume his position as Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. Meanwhile, tributes poured out in the House of Representatives on Tuesday to the former Minister of Finance, Dr. Nigel Clark. Dr. Clark became Minister of Finance in March 2018 and is instrumental in Jamaica's successful exit from the IMF and the country's fiscal management. Among the legacies under his leadership is the creation of fiscal buffers to mitigate and manage shocks and natural disasters. There is also the reduction of debt to GDP to 74% and consecutive budgets of no new taxes. He also championed the Bank of Jamaica to an independent body, no guarantor for student loans, paternity leave for men, and the public sector compensation review, among several others. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness acknowledged Dr. Clark for his contribution to the government and the people of Jamaica.
There is no doubt that Nigel is a special resource for Jamaica, that he has served with great dignity, poise, and confidence. And I am very pleased to have been associated with you, Nigel. I'm very happy to have had the opportunity to work with you to get all of what we have accomplished done.
I thank Prime Minister Holness for the opportunity. It has been a wonderful journey, and we have accomplished a lot with the parliamentary and the cabinet team together. The best achievements, the sweetest ones, are the collaborative ones. And there's nothing I've enjoyed more by collaborating with my colleagues in the cabinet to pursue their policy priorities and to make them a reality.
Other members of the House also paid tribute to Dr. Clark.
I know that the world is waiting for the unique contribution that only you can make and which we have gotten a taste of. So, my friend, I wish you well.
We want to thank the member for serving his constituency. And secondly, the member has served with distinction.
There's no question that the member has made a positive contribution to Jamaica's development, not just in the House, but prior to that in the Senate and the other boards on which he served. And I want to thank him for that.
Dr. Nigel Clark is advising the government and the incoming finance minister not to fall in the trap of attractive loans being offered because of the country's good fiscal standing. Dr. Clark says he encountered many deals as Minister of Finance but refused them. He insists that the path ahead for Jamaica does not allow for errors because of the rigid and tight fiscal management the country is on.
It can be maintained by the choices that we make, and choices that consider today as well as tomorrow, and importantly, choices that leave enough space for public investment. It's only through public investment that we can improve quality of life. And which is why I've been such a fervent believer, and I've worked so assiduously on the buses, on the garbage trucks, on the stadium, on the hospitals, on the parks.
Dr. Clark says that by the end of the fiscal year, Jamaica's debt to GDP is projected to be at 68%, the lowest since the 1990s. With this achievement, he asserts that the country must now change the composition of a majority US dollar debt to a Jamaican dollar debt.
So though we might be at 68% at the end of the year, we still have 60% of that amount denominated in US dollars, which is a source of risk. Now, because we're in a position where we can demand what we want, my posture has been, everybody want to lend me money. I said, look, you come to me with Jamaican dollars, I'll borrow from you.
77,000 Jamaicans will receive their one-off payment of $20,000 this week under the reverse income tax credit. They are from a pool of 260,976 successful applications as at October 28. Notification will be given through a SMS text message or email indicating choice of payment, whether through a financial institution or remittance company.
It's important that everyone doesn't rush to their remittance entity. You have to wait. Only persons who receive the SMS and the email, and there'll be 77,000 of those this week. The remaining amounts of the reverse income tax credit will be paid in November and December. If you go to a remittance company to collect, you have to have a valid government ID, a passport, driver's license, or a voter ID. If you're a person with disability, you can authorize someone to collect with a letter signed by a JP, which has your application reference number, your TRN, the beneficiary ID, and other information.
And finally, consumers are being assured that there will be an adequate supply of chicken meat for the upcoming Christmas season. This is according to Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, Floyd Green, who says the poultry subsector is rebounding from the fallout experienced in the aftermath of Hurricane Beryl. Minister Green advises that the ministry has been coordinating interventions with industry stakeholders, such as the provision of baby chicks to hundreds of farmers to spur an early recovery in production.
So I want to assure people, based on our meetings, based on the placements that we've made, that we will have a well-supplied Christmas with chicken meat.
Mr. Green was speaking during the commissioning of the Caribbean Broilers Group Tropical Broiler System at the company's Hill Run Farm in St. Catherine on Friday. He also informs that since 2014, the broiler sector's annual production outturn has grown by 25%, moving from 110 million kilograms to 138 million kilograms, thereby making the island self-sufficient in chicken meat.
When we take the right policy decisions around agriculture, we can see the growth, we can see the sustainability, we can feed ourselves.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lisa Rowe. Thanks for watching.